So you've heard of singing for your supper. Well, today we're going to sing to help you get started playing The Ghosts of Christmas in this tuneful tutorial episode of Little Big Thumbs. When a card game comes and chills you to the bone. Well, there's something unique in this game that we speak, and it's tricks that aren't taking alone. We play cards in 2 different times until every zone has won. We resolve the past first, and we'll watch your mind burst, and you'll see that this game's fun. Oh, there goes Mr. Humbug, there goes Tiny Tim. If you play the best heart into the past, the winner would be him. That changes up the trump cards of the present and the future. We must plan well to win the game. It's hard to rhyme with future. We count our barries at the end of each round. We'll get points based on the amount we have found. You'll see who has won at the end of round 3 or 4 if you're playing with more you can see. And that's the Ghosts of Christmas in a sung nutshell. If you like trick-taking games, you might like this as well. So you've seen the tuneful tutorial, and now we've got 3 key questions to ask about the Ghosts of Christmas. And the first question is all about the presentation. Do the components and artwork of the game deepen our enjoyment? There are bits and bobs in the box that really help to shepherd new players through the experience, and in my opinion, lowers the barrier to entry. The dials that track the active suits might not be necessary for trick-taking game veterans, but they are helpful visual reminders. The past, present, and future markers really help to define the playing space, transforming what could easily become a generic layout into a visual feast. For this review copy, we were sent both the cardboard wreaths and first player top hat, as well as the deluxe wooden versions that are available for an extra fee. Now, we've mostly played with the wooden components, which are so chunky and lovely to handle. But the cardboard components are perfectly fine, and keeping those deluxe components out of the box will certainly lower the retail price of the game, and ultimately, I think, puts it into the hands of more players. With all that being said, Little Big Thumb's verdict on the presentation, 2 thumbs up. Question number 2 is the Little Thumbs test of kid compatibility, and that's when we ask, is this a game that is manageable and fun to play with younger children? Managing 3 different tricks each turn makes for a really thinky experience, but the Tiny Tim variant manages to trim away the game's bidding mechanism entirely. Instead, if a player manages to collect between 1 and 6 wreaths, they score that many points. If a player is stuck with more than 6 wreaths, they get 0 points, and if they wind up with 0 wreaths, they get 6 points. It's a brilliant way to introduce the game to new players, and for my older daughter who just turned 7, this game is just on the fringe of being accessible. Choosing and playing the appropriate cards is simple enough, and even if the implications of those choices don't quite land, there is still fun and even some learning to be found. There is still the potential for a negative experience if they collect too many wreaths, but guiding a young player through the first few turns will go a long way to helping them get the most out of the Tiny Tim game mode. Our younger daughter isn't quite ready for this game yet, but she really does enjoy playing with the fancy top hat. Still, because this game is only suitable for 1 of my 2 children, we are giving it 1 out of a possible 2 thumbs in the Little Thumbs category. And our final question is all about the big thumbs. Does this game offer enough to keep older players coming back for more? And the answer to that question is a resounding yes. For a game that only includes a single page of rules, there is so much to experience in this box. A moment ago, I mentioned the game's bidding mechanism, which is all about predicting how many tricks you're going to take over the course of a round, and is represented by the number of cardboard doors placed out on the table. It also offers the option of a flexible bid, which is made by flipping over one of those doors, and grants that player the option of taking 1 fewer trick than what they bid. If your bid was successful, each wreath collected is worth 2 points. But with a flexible bid, those points are cut in half, making it a costly and difficult decision to make. Now, we just talked about the Tiny Tim variant, which is a great way to introduce the game, but also there's available the Beyond variant, which gives us an extra trick to decide each round: the past, present, future, and beyond time periods. Regardless of which game mode you're playing, the decision of which card to play when and into which time zone can be a really crunchy one. At the same time, the game is very light on rules, meaning that it's going to be accessible despite all of that brain sweat that happens throughout the game. So in the Big Thumbs category, Ghost of Christmas is getting 2 big thumbs up. The Ghost of Christmas really stands out for a variety of reasons, and while we wouldn't necessarily recommend the game for playing with younger children, it's packed with interesting decisions for adults, with some variant options to keep the game fresh. Our Little Big Thumbs final score is 5 out of 6 possible thumbs, and we are highly recommending it for almost all ages. Ghost of Christmas from BoardGameTables.com. Check it out. And until next time, whether you've got little players or big players, make sure that you're playing games that make your thumbs go way up. Bye for now.